Hello, sixth grade. I hope that you are excited to get started sculpting your clay gargoyles. So to get started today, I do have a clay mat, a canvas mat rather, clay, obviously. I do have slip. We'll need a little bit of that later today. And then I also have the skewer. Our focus for the first portion of this project is to sculpt the two pinch pots, one for the, here we go, one for the body and one for the head. The pinch pot for the body is going to be larger than the one for the head. Do not worry about details to get started with, okay? We can always get more clay for that. First thing you need to do with the clay, of course, as always, is wedge it. Move it around in your hands for at least 30 seconds and remove all of those air bubbles. I did that before filming, so I am going to go ahead and split up my piece of clay. As I said, the body is going to be larger than the head. So I am going to do probably like a 1/3, 2/3 divide with the clay. I'm gonna go ahead and set the smaller piece off to this side. So as a review for the pinch pot, you do want to roll it into mostly a ball. Does not have to be like perfectly smooth and crease free. We'll have time to do that to fix everything. And then you want to take your thumbs and you want to gently, I have some cracking. My clay is admittedly a little bit drier, but that can be fixed. You want to push in your thumbs from the bottom and start pinching it into shape, of course. Now I want you to keep in mind for the body, the opening is going to be on the bottom where it's going to sit. And you're not going to need to decorate the inside at all. You can alter the shape a little bit by making sure, if you want it taller, for example, just make sure that you pinch it upwards gently, of course. If you want it a little bit wider, you can pinch it outwards a little bit more. Okay, shape-wise, this is pretty much what I had in mind, but I am going to fast forward through the smoothing out part. So I'll check back in with you in just a moment. All right, I want you to notice this is much smoother than it was before, and at no point did I open this container of slip. Slip is not for smoothing out, slip is for connecting pieces together. So really, your fingers act as an eraser and can smooth it out. If you're in a really tricky area, you can spray it with a touch of water to smooth out. But you do not want to add too much slip. Slip is going to make the clay break down, and you need it to be structurally strong. Okay, I have the body. I am going to set that off to the side. I am going to grab my smaller piece of clay. This is going to be the head. So your opening for your gargoyle's head is going to look a little bit different than this, right? So I'm going to grab my sketch again really quick. I have my opening facing the front, slightly open so we can see teeth and a tongue hanging out. So we're going to start with the basic pinch pot shape. And then I will show you a little bit more about how to shape it as you want it. So we're going to do the same thing. Gonna roll it into mostly a ball. Now this piece is a little bit smaller. Instead of both thumbs, you might just want to use one, although I have slightly bigger thumbs than probably most of you, so yeah. Okay. So again, I do have some cracking. That is pretty normal. Okay, now we need to move this into that mouth shape a little bit more, right? So visualize it. Currently that looks like the monster from Stranger Things. We're gonna fix that. Okay, so I am going to spray this with a little bit of water. Okay. Had to get it started, hadn't used the water bottle in a bit. This is going to make the clay a little bit more flexible, a little bit more malleable, I suppose would be the word. So that way you can alter, especially the opening for its mouth in whatever position you have it in. Okay, I'm going to push my finger in there, push the head up a little bit more, not too much. Don't want to poke a hole in all that hard work that we did. Okay, now I want you to keep in mind, this might not be what you envisioned it yet, but we have a lot of other details that we are going to be adding, right? Eyes, wings, tail, arms. So don't you worry, we are just getting started with the bigger shape today. Okay, I definitely have some smoothing out to do on the exterior of this. So once again, I'm gonna check in with you in just a moment. Okay, mostly smoothed out body and head. Okay, now we want to attach these two pieces together, of course, because they need to be. Something that I'm going to recommend that you do is gently take the body. It's very helpful to have a flat edge and just give it a little tap, tap, tap on the mat, on the table, so that way we have something a little bit flatter. We can do the same thing. I'm going to put my finger in here so it doesn't dent. Okay, and then those are going to be definitely a little bit more seamless. Okay, fantastic. So now that we have two very distinct places where we are going to attach these together, so we are going to score both of these flattened areas. Okay, and then we're going to apply slip to both of those scored areas. And guys, you can use a tool, but you know me, we're kind of a mess already, so I'm just gonna go for it. All right, and as a reminder of what this does, the score marks increase the surface area of the clay, acts as kind of like Velcro, and then the slip acts as our glue. And we wanna give those a good stick on there. It's a pretty large area, so it should, depending on your design, be pretty good to do. Now this is a very fine seam. I cannot use my finger to get in there, but luckily, to get away the extra slip goop, I like to just use the tip of the skewer to smooth that out. All right. You want to double check yourself, make sure it's fully attached, flip it upside down, give it a little shake, 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 and it looks like we are in good shape. This is where I would like you to be by the end of class today. If you finish with this part, you can start sculpting your additional pieces, hang on to them, but we will talk more about those details and additional pieces next time.